Welcome back to the channel, your go-to place for simple science-backed health insights that actually make sense. If you're like millions of people around the world, your day probably starts with a cup of coffee. It wakes you up, boosts your focus, and honestly, it just feels good. But lately, a worrying question has been making the rounds. Does caffeine actually age you? Could your daily coffee be quietly contributing to wrinkles, dull skin, or premature aging? Or is this just another health myth blown out of proportion? Today, we're breaking down the real science in plain, simple language so you can enjoy your coffee without unnecessary fear. The belief that caffeine speeds up aging didn't appear randomly. There are a few reasons why people became suspicious. First, caffeine is a stimulant. It activates your nervous system and can affect sleep. Second, coffee has long been labeled as dehydrating, and dry skin is often associated with aging. And third, caffeine can increase cortisol, your body's main stress hormone, at least temporarily. When you put all of that together, it sounds logical to assume caffeine might be bad for your skin. But here's where things get interesting. What sounds logical isn't always what science actually shows. According to experts, there is no strong scientific evidence that moderate caffeine consumption directly causes premature skin aging. In fact, coffee contains antioxidants, and these are actually beneficial compounds. Antioxidants help fight oxidative stress, which is one of the major drivers of aging in the body and skin. Oxidative stress damages cells over time and contributes to fine lines, loss of elasticity, and uneven skin tone. So surprisingly, your morning coffee may offer some protective benefits rather than harm. However, caffeine can still influence certain lifestyle factors that do affect how your skin ages. And the biggest one is sleep. This is where caffeine can quietly become a problem. Caffeine can stay in your system for 6 to 8 hours, sometimes longer, depending on your body. That means your afternoon coffee could still be active when you're trying to fall asleep at night. And poor sleep is strongly linked to visible skin aging. When you don't sleep well, your skin repairs more slowly, dark circles become more noticeable, fine lines appear more prominent, and your body produces more cortisol. Over time, elevated cortisol can break down collagen, the protein that keeps your skin firm and youthful. So the real concern isn't coffee itself, it's caffeine interfering with your sleep quality. Another common fear is dehydration. You've probably heard someone say, coffee dries out your skin. But modern research paints a more balanced picture. Yes, caffeine has mild diuretic properties, but regular coffee drinkers usually develop tolerance to this effect. In practical terms, moderate coffee intake does not significantly dehydrate most people, especially if you're drinking water throughout the day. However, problems can appear if coffee replaces water completely, you drink very high amounts of caffeine, or your overall fluid intake is low. Again, the theme here is balance. So let's connect the dots clearly. Caffeine itself is not proven to directly age your skin, but certain habits around caffeine can create conditions that make aging more noticeable. For example, if you drink coffee late in the evening and your sleep suffers, your skin misses out on its most important repair window. If you consume large amounts of caffeine and feel constantly wired or stressed, repeated cortisol spikes may affect collagen over time. And if your daily routine is mostly coffee with very little water, mild dehydration can make skin appear less plump and more tired. The key idea is simple and important. It's not just what you drink, it's how your overall lifestyle supports your skin. For most healthy adults, up to 400 milligrams of caffeine per day is considered safe, roughly equal to about 4 cups of brewed coffee. But sensitivity varies. If you notice trouble sleeping, anxiety or jitters, heart racing, or feeling overstimulated, it may be a sign to scale back. Your body usually gives clear feedback when caffeine is too much. The good news? You probably don't need to give up coffee. Instead, follow a few simple habits. Avoid caffeine within 6 to 8 hours of bedtime. Drink enough water during the day. Keep your intake moderate. Prioritize consistent, quality sleep, manage daily stress levels. These lifestyle factors have a far greater impact on visible aging than your morning cup of coffee. So here's the honest bottom line. Coffee itself is not proven to age your skin. In moderation, it may even provide helpful antioxidants. But poor sleep, chronic stress, and dehydration, sometimes linked to excessive caffeine habits, can absolutely speed up visible aging. Your coffee isn't the enemy, but your daily habits still matter most. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more science-backed health content. And in the comments below, tell me, how many cups of coffee do you drink each day? Thank you for watching.